What's good, guys? So this video is going to be about comparing yourself to others, and then we're going to talk about confidence and courage when you take trades. Both are very essential. Again, this is something that is like an engine or like a gearbox, however you want to put it. All of these things need to be in sync. If you have one of these things, let's say confidence is out of sync, that's a teeth that's not moving properly with the motor, then you're gonna have the whole engine have a misfire. In the case of trading, if you have one of these things that aren't in place properly, your trading is gonna have a misfunction, and then it's not gonna give you the results you want. So comparing yourself to others, this is something that we've been doing as humans ever since we've been little kids, back in preschool, high school, whatever the case you want to say. Remember when this guy has the cool shoes, he must be the cool guy, he's better, or I have a better haircut than this guy, so I'm better than him. But what this tends to do is that it affects us because we simply almost put somebody down, and then we put ourselves above them because like, oh, since I have better shoes, or I have a better shirt or better hair, whatever the case is, I feel better, or I have a better car, that means I'm better than he is. You really don't know that person's situation. There's a lot of people out there that are extremely wealthy. You see all those Instagram posts of Warren Buffett that he still drives his Cadillac, or Mark, the guy that owns Facebook, wearing a plain t-shirt. The guy's a multi-billionaire. So that need to compare yourself to others isn't the best thing to fear yourself. It's just put your ego down and then just focus on yourself. We are all on our own path. There's no need to see another person. Yes, you can use them as an example and as motivation, but don't use it as a stepping stool to put them down so that you put yourself up. So I remember one of the main things that killed my motivation, it was when I was comparing myself to like these other experienced traders at the beginning. And I remember having my first big day. At the time it was a $500 day, and I was super excited about it. I was super stoked. I showed my family. They didn't really care, but it is what it is. I go on Instagram, you know, from like my mentor, the people that I was watching at the time, and then he was having a $5,000, $6,000, $7,000, $8,000 day, and then automatically what that did, it just killed my day. Because I'm like, wow, I'm clearly doing something wrong. I only have just had a $500 day, and then this guy's out here getting $6,000, $7,000, $8,000 day. But at that time, I wasn't in the right mindset, and I didn't fully accept that this person has been doing the game for multiple years, 5, 6, 7 years, and then I'm just only getting started. I know that person at that given point in time, he had a big day at one point, and then it's just slowly scaling. Like now I'm having these big days looking back at when I was at the beginning, and it's just a slow equity curve moving to the upside. And this comparing yourself to the others can kill your motivation and drive, just simply because you don't feel like you're worthy, or you feel like you're almost doing something wrong because your day is not as big as whatever person's that you're looking at. This is why I always compare everything when it comes to business, trading, whatever the case is, to percentages. Everything is strictly percentages. So in my case, I had a $5,000 account at the time, more or less, give or take, and then I made $500, so that equals 10%, meaning I could have put that 10% in any size account and I would have made X dollars. So I ended up finding out later down the line that person that I looked up to, that he had that $6,000, $7,000 day, that person had a $200,000 account, meaning he only made 2.5%. So when it comes down to percentages, I had a better week, better trade, or whatever the case is, simply because I made 10%. If that person would have given me that $200,000 account, or I would have been trading that amount at that given point in time, I would have made $20,000. This is why you can't look at the dollar value. It's just numbers on a screen. It's strictly percentages. A trick that I use to this day, and I will continue to use because it just gives me this peace of mind and ease, is as soon as I enter a trade, I completely close my MT4 and I just go about my day. I only monitor my trade through TradingView. I don't look at the MT4. I know exactly how much I'm gonna lose if it hits my stop loss, and I know exactly how much I'm gonna make if it hits my take profit. It can be consolidating within my stop loss for a week, a month, it doesn't matter. I know that as soon as it breaks to that stop loss, I lost 1%, 1.5%. Whatever the case is. And what this does, it just puts your mind at ease because you're not worried. I'm like, oh, what if the trade hits my stop loss? Well, if the trade hits my stop loss, I know exactly what's gonna happen. But we'll get into a little more details on that now. But I remember looking at this person and I'm like, what did this person do in order to get to this? And it's just very simple. The person has more experience and more time in what he's doing in the field. He doesn't have any special power, any special tool. And I know that's what a lot of you guys are seeking, this superstition, but it's just, that's not the case. This is just years of consistency, risk taken every single day, and following a plan and a strict rules that have been met every single day. this is the result of all of that paying off. So when comparing yourself to others, know that we're no different. We all have the same access to the same tools. It just takes years of consistency, following a strict guidelines and rules, taking risk every single day, putting up your hard-earned money for potential reward, and it's pulling up every single day without looking back. All right, so what we need to do is we need to begin focusing on what we're good at and not magnifying on what we're not good at. I get many questions and people that tell me, oh Alex, I'm a great scalper and I want to move into swing trading. What do I do? I'm like, well, if you have somewhat mastered or gotten all of that data and all of that experience with scalping, don't fix something that's not broken. Don't go out and try to think that the more you do equals the more you're gonna get. That is completely false and completely wrong in this business. In this business, it's less is more. Don't fix something that's not broken. If you're good at scalping during London, go ahead, continue doing that. But if you're not good at that and you're seeking to do other things, then you need to completely forget what you learned about scalping in London and then learn the new knowledge when it comes to trading New York and swing trading or whatever the case is, because they're both very much different. So let's say you're good at swing trading, how I do it mainly. I usually tend to take my trades around New York session. Focus on that. Don't go out and then try to create this whole new strategy or this whole new methodology just because you haven't been trading for 2 or 3 days. I remember when I started seeing my equity curve and my P&L change and I started seeing consistency, there was days, even weeks, where I wouldn't take a trade in 3-4 days. And then I was asking myself, like, what am I doing wrong? I'm so useless. Like, I really feel like a bum. Like, I feel like I'm not doing anything, right? But then what I started doing is I started seeking more information. I'm like, well, if there's nothing here, then while I'm waiting for something here, I'm gonna go get more knowledge to then scalp while I'm waiting for my swing trades. And then what this tends to do is completely messed up my original swing trading, which is what I'm good at. And then my equity curve, instead of slowly going up, it just completely downed again because I entered now this losing streak in scalping. And then when I came into taking my swing trades, my psychology was out the window because I have just entered this whole new strategy, this whole new swing trading. So I mean, this whole new scalping strategy. So when I go over back to take my swing trades, I'm like, well, if I were to be using my scalping strategy, it doesn't say to enter here, and it just messes everything up. The gearbox has completely gotten out of proportion. So focus on what you're good at. If you're a swing trader, take your swing trades and that's it. When you're not taking trades 3 to 4 days, that's okay. You need to accept your risk. That is your role as a trader. Let's say you work at McDonald's, right? Let's say you're the drive-through person at McDonald's. When it's booming and there's a bunch of cars to the drive-through, good, you're getting paid your $10 an hour or whatever the case is, and you feel good because you're working, you're getting paid for what you work for. But if there's nobody going through the drive-thru and you just sit, like literally just standing there waiting for cars to come through, are you gonna tell your manager, oh, this is not fair, I don't think I should be getting paid my $10 an hour because there's no cars going through? Pretty sure you're not gonna do that. It's the same thing with trading. If you're not taking trades in those 3 to 4 days, that's fine. You just need to simply wait for those probability setups to come. That is the whole point of trading, to get that financial freedom. Isn't that what we're not out here for? Well, that's when it hit me. So that's when I realized, I'm like, well, I think this is it. I think this is the financial freedom, the consistency that everybody seeks. I think I got it. Nobody's gonna come and nobody's gonna give you an award like, oh, now you're consistent and now you're profitable. That's not how it is. It kind of just almost comes through the back door. Like they say that opportunity comes in disguise. Well, that was something that definitely hit me super random. I didn't really expect it to be like that, but that's when I started realizing and accepting that trading isn't something that needs to be forced every single day. I went off on a little tangent there. We're gonna go back now to comparing yourself to others. I remember when I found the type of trader that I wanted to be and the type of trading style that I wanted to do, I completely removed all of the other followers from all different sources of social media that I was seeing on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, whatever the case is. I wanted to be like X trader. I went ahead, I only stuck to one person and listened to one person. I removed everybody that did no good to me, whether it was family, friends, neighbors, whatever the case is, because I just strictly wanted to focus on my craft and the person at a time that I figured that would get me to where I wanted to be. So what this does is that it eliminates all distractions and it strictly only focuses on where you want to be, like who you want to be and where you want to go. And by doing this, I remember removing all of my family, all of my friends from social media. I went into like this ghost mode for almost like a year and a half, and then all of a sudden I came back out a year later like, oh, you haven't talked to us, I'm so happy you kept going with what you did. did. At the beginning, yes, it does suck, because when comparing yourself to them, they don't have the courage, have the inner power within themselves to do that leap of faith and take that risk that you did to yourself. So if you come out, push through all the hard, and then you show them that it's possible, then there they will applaud you, and then they will no longer see you as the black sheep or anything that is not normal to them. They're just seeing you, oh wow, now they see you as a form of motivation and a form of somebody to look up to. So that's something that I did. I removed everybody that I not only thought, but that I knew that if I entered a situation where I needed help, or were they gonna help me if I asked for it, I completely removed them. No offense to you guys, but I just don't want to be distracted by what you're putting out there. And I really don't care about your opinion about what you're gonna say, how I'm doing, if I'm doing it, when I'm doing it. I'm focused on what I wanna do, how I wanna do it. And I know if I keep going with my consistency, I'm gonna get where I wanna go. So the main thing is, when comparing yourself to others, focus on yourself. You are all on your own journey. Don't get distracted or sidetracked because somebody on the other lane is going 100 miles per hour in a Lamborghini. Well, that person has probably been coming 100 miles per hour from way back there, and they probably got in the Lamborghini way before you probably even got a car. So it's something that, just to put into perspective, you need to focus on your own journey. Don't compare yourself to others, and it's strictly percentage numbers. Don't focus on the dollar amount. So now we're going to talk about confidence and courage. This is something that it's very much needed because it comes to tie with emotions. I'm going to explain to you now a little more into detail what I mean by that.